we've got Pluto opposite Mercury. So as the season goes on and we have more planets, all these planets are going to be moving, not Jupiter, but the moon, every month, the sun, Venus, Mercury are going to go through Leo and make that opposition to Pluto. And so we didn't get this last summer because of the retrograde back. It was earlier in the year. It was in May, right? And so this is like the first like big kind of parade of oppositions to Pluto. And Mercury makes the first one. We'll have Venus oppose it, and then the sun later on. So to me, I mean, Mercury's gonna be real quick. So thankfully we'll get like this like quick lesson or quick experience with an opposition to Pluto. Pluto as an outer planet. It's made its second ingress into Aquarius this year. First one was last year, but we're getting these little stretches of the stomach lining of what it feels to eat like a meal of Pluto Aquarius. So we get like that little taste and experience with it. Oppositions, can they're multifaceted. They're not always just defiant and oppositional and hard, but they are the nature of Saturn. And so, Mercury as that planet of communication and quick information, opposing Pluto, I'm going to look at the bright side and speak to, okay, well, is Mercury going to have a different perspective on what the riches that Pluto has in Aquarius? And is it going to able to kind of like be that red herring of good luck, to be like, or the canary in the coal mine that of Candy Mountain, instead of it being just like a harbinger of doom. I hope that Mercury kind of has like these early signs and early messages of Pluto, that it'll happen so quickly and it'll move on. So I kind of feel like this is a moment that if you blink, you'll miss it. So pay attention to those quick messages that come, because it could be this spark of realization of kind of just what the Pluto riches are.
Yeah, I'm curious about all of these transits, like once they're coming through into Leo, but it's particularly Mercury, thinking of these oppositions as like the full moon of the planetary cycle. So when they met and conjuncted back in, I think it was February in Aquarius, that's kind of like the new moon or like the seeding moment. So there might have been some notable news things regarding that, or headlines or personal experiences, but maybe that might have been a little bit quieter. And then this maybe being where that whatever started then or was planted then is kind of like coming out in the open, or being, exposed. I also, noticing that it's in Leo, particularly, it just maybe it will be loud. Maybe it will be some kind of announcement or something that's happening based on what happened back in when they met in the conjunction. But yeah, I've kind of been thinking about that in terms of the planetary cycle, I guess.
I like that. And tying in the Leo and Aquarius houses in your chart, kind of like highlighting those things. What do you think about just in the mundane world? Like, Mercury and Leo, it seems like it would speak to figures, right? It seems like it would be like a message of figures. And so I also wonder, outside of just our natal charts, if we're going to have some sort of announcement of, something that has been hidden. That was something that came up, just having that opposition or that reflection. And so I'll have to go back and look at that conjunction date and be like, what was in the news that day that seemed small? Like, are we going to get something like an expose? It doesn't have to be bad, but like an exposure. I love the idea of it being like that full moon moment of that initial conjunction earlier this year.
Yeah, it's interesting because that date is the day before our election here in the UK. And a lot of people do postal voting, so half the votes will be in by then. But yeah, it would be interesting if something is revealed.
Do you have that rule there where you're not allowed to do any sort of politicking on the day of the election?
Yeah.
So this would be the last day that they could say something, right? Because it's the day before.
Yeah, it's so strange because it's such a build up, and then suddenly on the day of the election we have dogs at polling stations. There's pictures of people taking their dogs, and that is literally as far as it gets in terms of politics. just the politicians going to vote and dogs going to vote. And that is it.
Wait, they let dogs vote in England?
They allow dogs to go to the polling stations.
Oh, okay.
And everybody posts their pictures of dogs at polling stations, and sometimes cats at polling stations. And that is the trend on social media. It's kind of fun.
Maybe this day will be like it'll be the last chance that what do they call it? The opposition research has to reveal the dirty laundry of their opponent.
Yeah, it feels like it, doesn't it?